Welcome to this tutorial on Kubernetes deployments. In this video, you'll learn how to manage application rollouts using one of Kubernetes' most powerful workload resources. Deployments provide a declarative way to update and manage your applications running in a Kubernetes cluster, making it easier to handle changes without causing downtime or disrupting your users. A deployment is a higher-level abstraction in Kubernetes that manages ReplicaSets and provides declarative updates to pods. Think of it as a management layer that sits above your pods and ReplicaSets. When you create a deployment, you define the desired state for your application, including how many replicas you want and what container images to use. The deployment then automatically creates and manages ReplicaSets to maintain this desired state. Most importantly, deployments enable controlled rollouts and rollbacks, meaning you can update your application safely and revert to a previous version if something goes wrong. Let's understand the hierarchy of how deployments work in Kubernetes. At the top level, you have the deployment object itself. The deployment manages one or more replica sets. The replica set, in turn, creates and maintains the actual pods that run your application containers. This three-tier hierarchy is crucial because it allows Kubernetes to perform rolling updates seamlessly. When you update a deployment, it creates a new replica set for the new version while gradually scaling down the old replica set, ensuring your application remains available throughout the update process. Let's look at the basic structure of a Deployment YAML file. Every deployment starts with the API version, which is apps/v1, and the kind field set to deployment. In the metadata section, you give your deployment a name. The spec section is where you define the desired state. The replicas field specifies how many pod instances you want running. The selector section uses match labels to identify which pods this deployment should manage. In this example, we're selecting pods with the label app equals nginx. The template section defines the pod specification that will be used to create the actual pods. Inside the template metadata, you specify labels that match the selector we defined earlier. The template spec section describes the containers that will run in each pod. Here, we define a container named nginx using the nginx version 1.21 image. We also specify that this container will expose port 80. This template acts as a blueprint, and Kubernetes will use it to create all the pod replicas managed by this deployment. There are multiple ways to create a deployment in Kubernetes. The declarative approach uses Kubectl apply with the -f flag followed by your YAML file name. This is the recommended method for production environments as it allows version control and reproducibility. Alternatively, you can create a deployment imperatively using Kubectl create deployment, followed by the deployment name and the container image. This is quick for testing, but less maintainable. Once created, you can view all your deployments using Kubectl get deployments, which shows you the status and replica counts of your applications. Rolling updates are one of the most powerful features of Kubernetes deployments. They allow you to gradually replace old pods with new ones, ensuring zero downtime during application updates. Kubernetes supports two main update strategies. The rolling update strategy is the default and performs incremental replacements, updating a few pods at a time while keeping the rest of your application running. The recreate strategy, on the other hand, terminates all existing pods before creating new ones. This causes downtime, but can be useful in development environments or when your application doesn't support running multiple versions simultaneously. You can fine-tune the rolling update behavior using specific parameters in your deployment specification. Under the strategy section, set the type to rolling update. The rolling update subsection contains two important parameters. Max surge defines the maximum number of pods that can be created above the desired replica count during the update. Max unavailable specifies the maximum number of pods that can be unavailable during the update process. Both parameters can be specified as absolute numbers or percentages. Setting these values to 1 means Kubernetes will update one pod at a time, ensuring a slow and steady rollout with minimal risk. Managing updates and rollbacks in Kubernetes is straightforward with Kubectl commands. To update a deployment's container image, use Kubectl set image deployment followed by the deployment name, then specify the container name and new image version. To monitor the progress of your rollout, use Kubectl rollout status deployment followed by the deployment name. This command shows you whether the update is progressing, completed, or experiencing issues. If something goes wrong with an update, you can quickly revert to the previous version using Kubectl rollout undo deployment followed by the deployment name. This rollback capability provides a safety net for your production applications. Let's recap the key benefits of using Kubernetes deployments. First, they enable zero-downtime deployments, meaning your application remains available to users even during updates. Second, easy rollback capabilities allow you to quickly revert to a previous stable version if issues arise. Third, declarative configuration means you describe what you want, and Kubernetes handles the implementation details. Finally, automated ReplicaSet management means you don't have to manually create or manage ReplicaSets. The deployment controller handles all of that for you. These features make deployments essential for managing production applications in Kubernetes.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.